This is the Nissan Patrol Royale. It's Nissan's biggest and most expensive SUV that you can buy locally. Is it worth its 3.7 million peso price tag? Let's find out. There's only one variant available for the Patrol Royale locally, and it's this one. It's a 3.7 million peso behemoth with all the options checked. The design looks a bit dated in my opinion. It harkens back to the early 2010s when vehicles had enormous headlamps. Headlamps nowadays are getting squintier, but the Patrol didn't get the memo. I think it also looks a bit too rounded. You don't get a lot of angles and creases. If it looks dated, it's actually because the model has been around since 2010. It has received a couple of facelifts since then, but they're pretty minor. But whether you like the design or not, the vehicle definitely has presence. But that's mostly due to its sheer size. It looks massive, especially in person, and it looks expensive. These wheels look like they're 17s or 18s, but they're actually 20s. It's so big that it makes 20-inch wheels look small. The wheels are wrapped in 270 70 series tires. The vehicle has 4-wheel disc brakes. The Patrol will be powered by a 4-liter V8 engine. It produces a very impressive 400 horsepower and 560 Newton meters of torque. To put that into perspective, it has more power than two Fortuner 2.8s put together. There will be no diesel option, which is a disappointment because fuel economy is going to be bad. But then again, if you can afford a vehicle like this, then probably fuel economy isn't a consideration. But the Land Cruiser is offered with a diesel engine, and that's also a luxury SUV. The interior looks luxurious. The leather seats feel plush, and most of the surfaces are covered in soft touch materials. You have high quality leather on the door cards. The armrests are very nicely padded. There's plenty of different materials and plenty of details that overall make the interior feel pretty expensive. The steering wheel feels very nice to the touch. On the wheel, you have controls for the infotainment and also for the cruise control. The outer part of the wheel is covered with a wood trim, and the inner part is covered in stitched leather. Around the air vents are chrome trims. This is leather, this is wood. You have a very wide center tunnel with plenty of storage. You have two cup holders over here, a 12-volt outlet, and this is an ashtray, I guess. And then you have two USB ports over here and a 12-volt outlet. Over here is a dial where you can set the different driving modes. The vehicle is 4-wheel drive. The center armrest feels plush and is also leather covered. Storage underneath the armrest is surprisingly small for the size of the vehicle. It has a reasonably sized glove box. The vehicle has a moonroof. It is not panoramic though. It's only for the front row passengers, which is also a bit of a disappointment. I believe these are seat coolers. Over here are two USB ports and a 12-volt outlet. It has a CD slot. You may not use CDs anymore, but your parents probably still do, and they're probably the main market for this vehicle. Over here are your AC controls. I like the fact that it has actual buttons for the infotainment system instead of having everything on a touchscreen. Of course, it has a start-stop function. Headroom is not bad. You can see. Legroom is also pretty generous. Over here are air controls. Over here is an ashtray. And then you have volume controls for the stereo. I'm not sure if you can see that. Also, the center armrest can also open this way. It's pretty deep. I have an infotainment display here, too, on both headrests. The armrests are also very nicely padded with thick leather. The vehicle has a center armrest with 2 cup holders. You have air vents over here and air vents over there. The main drawback of the Patrol Royale is the lack of a diesel option. The fact that its main competition, the Land Cruiser, is offered with a diesel engine isn't gonna help its sales. The Land Cruiser is more expensive by ₱1,000,000 pesos though. In terms of price, this is closer to the V6 Explorer, and that too doesn't come with a diesel engine. Compared to the Explorer, the Patrol I think has more presence. It has a better interior, and it's a much bigger vehicle. Vehicles like this are more than just a means of transportation. They're also a statement. And between the Explorer and the Patrol, I think the latter makes a bigger statement.